Hey guys, so there is one more thing I do need you guys to be able to do with regards to area and perimeter, and it's mainly a thing focusing on perimeter, and this is for your test tomorrow. So let's say that Kelly wants to create a rectangular fenced-in space in her backyard for a garden. She only has 16 feet of fencing materials that she can use, and so we want to come up with 3 different possibilities of rectangles that she can make with this fencing. Okay, and then you're going to find the area and perimeter of each rectangle that we find. So something that's worth noticing here is that the fact that she has 16 feet of fencing, realize that we must be working with perimeter right now, right? The max perimeter we can have is 16 because perimeter means, around. And I've also said in the past that fencing is always going to be with regards to perimeter. So there are a lot of options here. There are not just 3. There are many, many options. Basically, we just need to find 3 different rectangles that have a perimeter of 16. So if we tried to make one right here, okay, we can say, and again, like I said, we're going to come up with 3 options right here, but there are many, many more that you could come up with. Okay, so let's say that we wanted one of the sides to be 5. Okay, you could pick a random number under 16 and just test stuff out. If this side is 5, this side would also be 5. And if we have 2 sides that are 5, that gives us 10. Okay, and that means we have 6 more feet of fencing that we can use, right? Because we have a total of 16, and so out of 16 we've already used 10. So now that we know that, we can then distribute the remaining 6 between these 2 sides. Now because there's 2 sides of a rectangle have to be equal, and we have 6 left, we can go ahead and divide that by 2, and that's going to give us 3. So we can make these 2 sides 3, and if you added all these up, we would get a total perimeter of 16. Okay, so we know that our length is going to be 5, our width is 3. Okay, so our area of that rectangle is going to be 5 times 3, which is 15. And the perimeter is 16. That was the whole goal in the first place, right? And we achieved that. If we added 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3, we would get 16. Okay, let's do another one. Like I said, there are many, many options. So we can go ahead and choose mostly a random number, right? Let's say we wanted one side to be 6. If we had one side as 6, we are like, okay, that uses up 12. Okay? And if we already used up 12, that means we have 4 feet of fencing left. So let's go ahead and split that between our 2 sides. That tells us that the other sides have to be 2. If we made this side and this side each 2, we know that if we added all these together, we would get 16, and that would use up all the fencing that Kelly has available. So we can say that we can have a 6 by 2 rectangle. Okay, and finding the area and perimeter of this, well, area 6 times 2 is 12 feet squared. Okay, and then perimeter, you add all the sides and you should get 16. Little rule of thumb here, if you're asked a question like this, all your perimeters should be the same because that's what we're going off of in the first place to create our rectangles. All right, one more. Now, again, I'm going to say this a million times, there are many options of these rectangles that we can make. Okay, let's say we wanted one side to be 4, right? If we had one side as 4, we would know the other side has to be 4 as well. So let's try that. 4 plus 4 is 8, so 16, well, let's put that first. 4 plus 4 is 8, and if you do 16 minus 8, that means we have 8 feet of fencing left. So in order to properly distribute that 8 feet on this rectangle, we have to divide it by 2 because we have 2 more sides that we have to give fencing to, and those have to be equal, right? Because that's how rectangles work. And so we get 4. That tells us that these 2 sides will be 4. Okay, and this is actually a square because all 4 sides are equal, but a square is actually just a type of rectangle. Fun fact. So that's totally valid. Our length is 4, our width is 4. Okay, so remember our perimeter is going to be 16 because that's what we wanted the perimeter to be in the first place. We designed the rectangle to have a perimeter of 16. The area is going to be 4 times 4, which is 16 feet squared. It's a coincidence that the area and perimeter are the same in this scenario. But like I said, guys, there are so many other options of rectangles you can make. It's not just limited to these 3. That's all.